Before we get into the actual working with the multiple cameras, I've gone ahead and uh, set up a preview of how I set up the cameras, and then we'll get into the actual working with the multiple cameras.
It's my little office and my editing suite here where I do all my editing. There's my setup down here, my double monitors, printer, amplifier, desktop computer. Yeah, well, I like to have the fire going as well. That's just a TV. Okay, let's start with the main camera. I'm sitting right here at this chair. Now the director has to have his chair, and this is by far the best director's chair I've ever had. It actually belongs to my wife. It's her wheelchair that she only uses when we go out in the summertime. It's winter right now. We don't use it in the winter. So I'm using it as my director's chair and my office chair. And the reason I'm doing that is because it is so comfortable to sit in for long periods of time. Better than any chair I've ever had. So that's why I'm using that. Anyway, here we are. Now you use what you've got. You only have so many tripods, only so much equipment. So I've got my little camera here set up. It's my little action cam set up on a cardboard box, and I checked it out. It's giving me a good video picture, minus the case. Okay, the waterproof cases are left to the side, and the reason for that is you want to make sure that the microphone is on all of your cameras, and it really can't hear that well when it's in its case. So I've left it out of the case altogether. And the reason, you will see the reason for the microphone shortly. Not for my video audio track, but actually to set the clapper that we're going to use to tune the video to each other. On the other shelf over here, I have my SamCam, or the Samsung phone. It's going to do a left profile. And then over here, I have another action cam on one of my tripods, and that's going to do a right profile. And then over here, beside me, is my Canon video cam, and that'll take a picture of me when I turn around and pull up to my desk, because it is a power wheelchair, so I'll pull up to my desk ready to go to work. So in your mind, you have to kind of set the scene on how it's going to flow in your action scenes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you everything in RAW, and then we're going to edit it later and show you how to actually put a video together. Okay? So we're going to fire up all the cameras and start with our video.
I have to sort of explain something that I had major problems with my Canon camera, the one that's only going to photograph the last portion of me coming up to my desk, but I'm not going to worry about that. So we're down to 3 cameras, and we've got 3 videos, and we're going to work on those right now. Now, before we get into the actual working with the videos, I want to show you this introduction. So we'll bring in the introduction here and let you know what the video is all about.
Welcome back to the CyberLink Power Director 18 tutorial series that I'm doing. If you've seen my first 4 parts of my beginner series, that's probably important. Don't jump into something that's quite a ways down the line without learning the basics of the programming. So I encourage you, if you're new at the CyberLink Power Director program, to go to my series, and it's entitled Power Director Tutorial for Beginners. And there's 4 parts bringing you up to speed on how to make an actual video. Now we're getting into some more technical aspects. In this particular one, we're going to deal with the direction and keeping tabs on multiple cameras. Now we're going to do an actual video. I'm going to do a new introduction for my website, and I don't know whether I'll use it or not, but we'll use that as a the basis for making this video. And we're actually going to use 4 different cameras. And I'm going to show you how you can use those cameras and coordinate them in your CyberLink software. Now, we're all pretty well, when we're posting to YouTube and have our little YouTube channels, we're all pretty well one-man shows or one-woman shows. We don't have staff to man the cameras, to track the cameras with us, or to actually set up the stuff. We're doing everything. We're doing the setup. We're making sure the cameras are ready, making sure their batteries are charged, make sure the settings are correct for what we want to do. And then we're going to go on and we're going to take some video using multiple cameras, because sometimes if you're doing a project and you get in the way of your own camera, a second camera taking a different perspective makes all the difference. Now, we're going to the extreme here. We're going to go to 4 cameras. I hope we can handle all this. I've done numerous videos with just 2 cameras, and that's not too bad, but to handle 4, this is going to be a real challenge. It's going to be a learning curve for me as well as you. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you some of the things that I use to help me keep my videos straight and my direction. And the first thing I'm going to show you is what I call my, I guess in the industry they call it a clapboard, or you know, the board they show with the scene, and they got the clapper that comes down, and it's got a digital readout of time on that thing. Well, it's got quite sophisticated now. In the old days, they just used the clapboard, and the reason that they used that clap, that sound coming down very loud, is what they use to link the videos together. In other words, that sound that they made with the clapboard is how they brought the videos in line with each other. Because imagine you put your videos on a track, okay, and that, say my hand represents that particular clap sound. So now you just slide your videos so they line up with that sound, and now your videos are in sync. So no matter what camera you look at or are observing from, the audio is the same as you switch from camera to camera. In other words, the voice, the movement of the lips, any movements within the scene is all coordinated. And I'm going to show you right now my little clapboard that I use, and I will put this on the video so you can take a really good look at it, and you can develop anything you want. This is just one thing that I use. There may be professional things out there you could buy, but this is simple. It's a piece of paper, and I put my information on that, and I can edit my scenes and keep track of my scenes, because when you're using not necessarily multiple cameras, but sometimes you will film out of sequence, and if you don't keep track of where that actual video part comes in other words, you may be set up someplace where you have to take 2 or 3 different scenes, but they don't always come in in sequence. In other words, you may take a scene at a location, but that one particular scene, say you take 3 different videos there, but that one video is going to be your ending. So you have to identify that, and that's what the clapboard's all about. So let's just go and we'll look at it right now. So here's my clapboard, and this is the page. I'll just explain it to you. Each of these 4 boxes represents a change in scene. So I may have one scene, and I'll write the video name in here, like the title of the project. This would be, in this particular case, multiple cameras. And in here I can do a description to help me remember or remind me later on that maybe this is an out of sequence scene, or you can just leave this blank because your scenes will continue with your take. So it may be one particular area that you're working in, but you're going to take a number of takes. Some of the takes will be good that you want to use, and some of the takes will be bad. And then when you fill up this or do all the takes, you can move over to the next one, and so on. So what I've got here in my particular case, I have my cameras identified. I have 2 of the action cams. So I've got camera 1 and camera 2, and there's a little sticker on each camera to identify them so that I know where the video came from. I got my Sam cam. That's the one we're using right now to do this particular take, and that's my Samsung phone. I love my Samsung phone. It takes great video, great audio. And then we have my Canon camera. I have a Canon camera, your typical video camera, just a 1080p high definition camera. So that identifies the cameras that I'm using in this particular scene right here. Okay, what else can I get here? If I've forgotten anything. So you just use this to keep track, and we'll keep track of this, and I'll keep showing you this in the video as we make them. Now, the clipboard, this is very important. This type of clipboard with the big clamp on it here. And also I have my pen here. I got my pen. So when I'm out in doing my scenes, if I'm out in the garage doing a handyman's episode, or if I'm at a location, I got my pen with me and I can fill in the information. So let's go ahead and we're going to fill in some information. Now, you would do this before you start doing any video so you can keep track of what you're doing. My video name, well, we're going to put in PD for Power Director, multi cam so Power Director multicam tutorial, and we are going to be using, now this is where you tell yourself what you actually used when you were working with this video. We're going to use camera 1, camera 2, that's our two action cameras. We're going to use also our Samsung phone. We're also going to use the Canon as well. And the scene description, well, it's fairly explanatory. We're going to do this as it's just using our multi-cameras before we actually go and make an actual video. So I'm just going to show you the equipment and how we're going to do it. So this is going to be scene take 1. Okay, now if that scene doesn't work out, say you goof up, someone comes into the room where you're working and disturbs your scene, you have to cut it and redo it, then what I do with that, if it's a bad take, I just draw a line through it and I go on to scene 2. Okay, and so what I do when I'm using this clapboard is I show this page to each of the cameras so that when the video comes on, it's identified right away. I can see, oh, this is my first take, and it's on my Canon camera. When I run my Sam cam, I might have 2 or 3 takes on there from something else or whatever, but it's going to show me, oh, this is take 1 on this particular project. Okay, so let's just we're going to set the cameras in motion and tell you and show you how I've got them set up, and then we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of video here.
Now it's time to work with our multicams. Now we're going to leave our little editing screen right here that we're working on, and we're going to go into the multicam editing screen, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So we'll just get out of our microphone mode here. So I've got all my clips are on my media content library right here that I'm going to use. It's this one, and this one that are the 3 cameras. Remember, we lost the 4th camera, the Canon camera, over in the far corner by my desk, but that really is not that important because all it was going to do is show me the ending of my video and me turning around and going, and we'll substitute that with another camera view. So we want to go from here to set up our multi-camera desktop. So go up here to plugins and multicam designer, and it brings up this really neat screen here. So we've got a brand new editing screen with our tracks down below. Up to 4 cameras we can set up, and we can have an audio track as well in behind all these, but these cameras have their own audio, so we won't have to do that. What we have to do here is we have to bring in our media. So up here on import video, the top left hand corner, we can import video or pictures from our hard drive directly, or seeing as we've already got them in our media room, we'll just click on that, and here's our media room right here, and it brings up the clips here that you haven't used yet. Okay, or there's our introduction. It's hard to see this on your small computer screen, but it'll come right along. So we're going to make our number 1 camera in our number 1 box. You can highlight these boxes here. I'd have to have this closed, and you can decide where you want to put that particular camera and what you want to name it. So we're going to go to number 1, import video from our media room, which is already in our on our desktop in PowerDirector already, and we're going to assign camera number 1 to our straight on look. So we'll put that one in, and we'll say OK, and there's our straight on camera in our number 1 spot. Number 2 spot, we're going to import our video again from our media room, and I'm going to make that my left profile, so that my mouse, if I go to the left, I'll take my left profile, which is this one right here. Select that, OK, and that's my left, actually my right profile. I'm sorry, I'm facing the wrong way here. So if I move my cursor to the right, I'll get my camera on my right. Because you'll see in a moment, this will be the way we turn our cameras on and off. We have one more camera to import, and from our media room, and that is our left camera. That's this one right here. Okay, and that goes into the 3rd spot. Whichever one's lit up is the one that you're going to be recording, right? You're going to see that on your screen, because you can't see all 3 at one time. You're only going to see from one camera. So that's how we're going to direct it. We can go to 2, go to 3, back and forth many times as you want. This is your director's console, or your switching console. They call them a switcher at sometimes. Okay, now the next thing we have to do is, all of these cameras were turned on at different times. So we have to apply some way of linking the cameras together, and that's where we're going to do it with our audio track and that clap you heard that we did initially on our Clapboard. So we're going to go up here to our synchronization right on the top. There's not an awful lot of settings you have to do here, and I have it defaulted to audio analysis. You can use time codes, the file created time, and markers on your clips. If you've already worked with the clips and they have markers on them, you can bring them back in and use them that way. But the audio analysis using the Clapboard is the way to do it. So, okay, now you'll watch the videos now. Come down here to the bottom. Right down here are 3 videos. And they're simply starting at the starting point. But we're going to ask it to analyze these videos on the audio track and apply it. So we go back up here to apply and watch the videos at the bottom now, down here, when I hit apply. Okay, it's analyzing it. There. Now it's staggered all the videos. Excuse me. because this is the way that the clap comes in on each video. So if we just move along here a little bit, our timeline, okay, and we're working, you can see on our board up here, if we look at the top, this camera was running before any of the other cameras, because you see down here on the bottom, on the timeline, there is no video. According to that clap is all set up, there's no video till we get into about here, right there, and then we have vision of all three of our cameras. Now I'm just going to play this. Now it's exactly the same controls as you have on your main screen, only this is in our multicam designer now. So we'll play that and just see. Okay, there I am. I'm going around and I'm setting up all of the cameras.
Okay, we've got all the cameras recording.
Okay, I've stopped it right there. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this. Can't really see me in some of this, so what's the point in showing it? So we'll go along here and we'll show this, and this will be our starting point and me announcing that okay, the cameras are all set up. Now don't be worried, sometimes your audio and your video will be out of sync in this, but when it's all put together in the final product, it will all link up. So I'll show you what I'm going to need. So what we're going to do right now, this is going to be our starting point right here. So what we'll do here is we'll make that our starting point, and then we'll, as we play this video, we will go up here to our director's board and we will click on the camera that we want to actually see going. See, at this point I could click on this camera, I could click on this camera, which I'm not in the scene, or on this camera right here, here. So I'm going to be actually coming from this particular scene towards my chair. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at this point and bring myself towards my chair and then switch to the other camera. And I will be switching from camera to camera to camera, back and forth, just to see what looks best, and also before we start our actual video. Alright, we're going to begin now. So what we want to do is come down to the bottom right hand camera. We're going to do this as a collage, or we're going to do it as a single video. And we're going to do this as a single video, and when we do that, we'll click on that. It brings up another button in our controls here, is the record button. So as soon as you hit the record button, then it'll start recording what you're playing. So here we go. Now I'm watching my monitors up here and my director's board.
Okay, we've got all the cameras recording.
Changed my
Now
camera
I'm going
view.
to show them what scene we're doing. Okay, we're going to do this one here, using all cameras or
Let's
circles.
switch to my camera 3 to
There's
show us
one
going. Now we're going to
on
go to
right.
switch to our right hand camera 2
guy.
and shortly.
Camera
Oh,
1,
sorry, 1.
camera 2. I hope that's picking it
Camera
up.
2.
I'll pick it up otherwise. And camera 4. Okay.
Now we can pause that. Collect your thoughts. Now the next camera we're going to go to is our camera 1, because I'm going to be sitting down here. So here we go. We'll record again.
Okay. Now, This is all behind the scenes now, so it's not edited. Now you'll see what this clapper that I've got right here, the clapper, I call it my clapper. But what I do is I do my countdown, and then I synchronize all of the cameras with the video clap. So I'm going to start my video right now. 3, 2, 1.
Now you'll notice that the audio is actually
Now,
out of
that
sync with
sound
the clap
will
here.
show up
But like
on
I
the
mentioned
audio
to you
track,
before, once it's all
and
compiled into
I'll be
one
able to
file,
record.
everything will line up perfectly.
This video is about the introduction to my website, and I haven't done a new one for some time. So I'm just freewheeling it here. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to all my subscribers, and if you're new to my website, I hope you enjoy the videos. You've come to a very eclectic site. I, numero uno, who does everything, and what we're doing here is we're doing a video that is showing how to use multiple cameras. And it's just one of the aspects of my site. I do some tutorial videos. I do videos for RVs, RV repairs. I do tips and tricks in every area that you can think of.
So I'm just letting it
Kitchen,
run now.
garage,
You can add a
vehicles,
little interest
you
into the
name it.
video
Installation of new products. Go to
by
my
changing
site,
the cameras.
or if you're already on my site, then go to one of the topics that you
And what you see in the
click on it.
viewer
Enjoy
screen
the
here
video.
is what
And I
the
thank
video is actually going to look
out of my
like.
heart for coming and watching my video. Thank you very much, and enjoy. Cut. So that's it. That's my new video. It's only going to be a couple of minutes, but we'll see how we can work it out with the 4 cameras. That's it. We'll go and we'll download all this video now to the computer, and see if we can put some of it together and make a tutorial for you folks.
And that's the end of it. Okay, so now, as you can see on our top track, our recording track here, it's camera 3, 1, 3. See down here on the bottom, 1, 2. This is all our switching. So now we want to just take this track and we want to put that into our main video track that we're doing. So we're all done. Hit. Just like on all of the other designer screens, when you're all finished and you're happy with the result, you can just hit OK. And there it is. It's produced a new video. I should have mentioned to you, well, you can move it around if it's in the wrong location, but you should actually have your cursor in the location on your main video tracks where you want your multicam track. So we can grab this whole effort here. Oops, I'm sorry, I can't. We'll have to bring it back down. We'll just leave it where it is because we don't want to fool with that. Okay. Oops, I'll bring it down. Well, we're happy with that. Alright, now let's go back a little bit here. And we're going to play this and see how it links in.
We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of video here.
Now we're looking at our final
Okay.
video where we're switching
We've got
from
all the
camera to
cameras
camera.
recording, and now I'm going to show them what scene we're doing.
See,
Okay?
we switched
We're
to
gonna
another
do
camera. Just following the
here.
action.
Using all cameras or circles, take one power director. And this guy,
A little mistake
Number
there. We had the wrong camera, but that's not going to hurt much.
camera 2. I hope that's picking it up.
You
I'll
get
pick
the
it up
idea.
Otherwise, and camera 4. Okay. Now, this is all behind the scenes now, so it's not edited.
I'm
Now
going to
you'll
stop
see
this
what
and just talk to you
this
for a minute here.
clapper.
I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but when we were editing in the multicam designer, the audio and the video did not sync up. I just go by pretty well the audio, what's happening. But once it's designed and locked together, you end up with a product that's timed perfectly. So we'll just continue on here at this mark.
Got right here, the clapper. I call it my clapper. But what I do is I do my countdown, and then I synchronize all of the cameras with the video clap. So I'm going
As
to
you see, as I
start my
switch
video
cameras
right
there,
now.
the audio is
3,
still synced.
2,
I
1.
wanted to show you the action of that clapper.
Now that sound will show up on the audio track, and I'll be able to coordinate. So this video is about the introduction to my website, and I haven't done a new one
There we go.
for some time.
I don't think we'll continue on to the very end there, but that gives you an idea of how to work with your multicams. It'll take us some practice to get used to it, but I think you've got the idea that you go up and it's in your plugins up top here. Select your multicam. Okay, we've got a clean slate now. We can start with more cameras if we wish, but I think you've got the idea, so go ahead. Use a couple of cameras, do a couple of different shots. If you're doing outdoor action shots with motorbikes or bicycles or gymnastics, whatever, outdoors, or set up some cameras in your house, and like surveillance cameras, and you can watch people walking back and forth through the house and keep track of them and make a little video of by bringing the camera view of wherever somebody was, and just make a little video of your own home and the security factor. So go ahead, have some fun with it. I'll come up with another video for you to watch to give you some more hints. And you've just seen the basics here. I didn't want to flood you with a whole lot of stuff, but that way you could get going and get into it. So thanks for watching, and wait for the next video, and I look forward to you coming back. Thanks very much for watching. Now it's time to go and make some video.